Welcome back, everybody. Let's get into the trending topics. Now, lots to get through, and we'll try and do it as quickly as we can, because also another big interview coming up in a short while. Al Ahly, so sports news, and confession, I really didn't watch
Al Ahly lost in
Did you watch
the Champions League final last night, African Champions League final, that is. They lost to Wydad Casablanca. And of course, South African interest there with Pitso Mosimane, Percy Tau going down with Al Ahly. And it was actually quite a fascinating final. And the atmosphere in that stadium was everything. It was absolutely rocking. I must say, the opening goal, wow, befitting, of a goal to win that prestigious cup. So there you have it, some of the action from last night. Here it comes. Not quite, but it was fascinating, and I think Al Ahly was not just up against Wydad; they were up against that entire stadium and the country. Watch that!
Oh, wow!
How's that?
Wow!
That was worthy, and of course a brace for the gentleman there on the night, and that's what happened. I think we're not quite seeing the atmosphere that was there. It was everything. But absolutely fabulous Champions League final last night. So that's why Al Ahly is trending. Sentia Mayiwa trial.
All right. So, that's one we've covered for you in the news quite a lot. So we see it continuing this morning. So just know that the Sentia Mayiwa trial is back, and the state witness Sergeant Thabo Mosia is going to be still on the stand under cross-examination. But yesterday was sort of really dedicated quite a bit to this argument about the documentary makers to have them, they called 10 films, not to be there in the courtroom. The whole argument was about barring them from filming the proceedings, and the whole request to eject the documentary makers, which was made by the Defence Counsel for 4 of the 5 accused, was dismissed. So that was brought about by Advocate Tefo. So, Senzo Mayiwa trial carrying on. It's in court again today, but that was the big sort of, I suppose, talking point yesterday.
Have you ever seen a trial stop-start like this one?
Insane.
It is absolutely mind-boggling. Right, that's the Senzo Mayiwa trial. Moving on to Dudula, and Dudula is trending every other day. Pretty much like
under
Somizi,
every name.
Mohali.
Under every name.
There are some trends that just keep on giving. So what's the latest?
Let me get to it. I know at one stage it was Maponyo Mall that was trending as well, because that was also linked to it. You'll remember Operation Dudula saving, during the July riots, and people were talking to that. And then Nhlanhla Lux also always trending. And then here's another one basically saying just in a refugee camp outside Pretoria, the UN officers demanding to be moved out of South Africa. Dudula operation, this is another thing. And then other people are saying I've started blocking those who follow Dudula because this is just unacceptable. And there's a whole bunch of things. So
but I just remembered why one of the reasons could be why Dudula has moved to the top there. There was an incident yesterday in Alexandra. Where apparently one of the leaders of Dudula was accused of evicting homeowners in Alexandra Township and was attacked by the community. So I just remembered that there was an incident in Alexandra yesterday.
Okay, all right. So that's one of them. As you say, there are so many reasons as to why Dudula is, and people are worrying, and they're saying that the situation that is happening between communities and something like Operation Dudula, and just in these communities, bloodshed is unfortunately inevitable if something is not done to try and sort of ease the tensions at the moment. It is a very, very big problem. So Operation Dudula again in the spotlight.
And the final one, Russia, of course, the ongoing war in Ukraine, and lots of talk at the moment the world over about rising prices, in all sorts of commodities at the moment as a result of that war. Lots of talk about lifting blockades or not lifting them. We have many countries around the world trying to look for alternative sources of food, energy supplies and the like, which they would usually get from either Russia or Ukraine. That's not coming through at the moment. Also talk about 90% of Russian crude oil not being bought. So Russian oil not being bought, and what is the impact of that going to be? But there's a lot going on with Russia as well, just like Dudula, as we say.
All right, well, there you go. So, that's a nice segue into the question that we're asking you, because it is one of the reasons that's given for this massive, dramatic petrol price increase that we could be seeing come midnight. So here's the question we're asking. The organisation Undoing Tax Abuse has called on the Minister of Finance, Enoch Godongwana, to extend the R1.50 per litre temporary reduction of the general fuel levy beyond the 31st of May. Do you think this will provide some relief? Well, certainly in the short term it will. It'll still be a very steep rise, but if you keep that in, we're looking at close to R4 a litre increase come midnight, and it's a big problem. So I think the Finance Minister is going to be speaking in front of Parliament today sometime.
Indeed.
We're hoping that something will be said there.
R1.50 is R1.50, but the reality of the situation is we have a runaway train here, and something needs to be done. It's already late for that announcement, but better late than never, and we'll see what comes out of Parliament this afternoon.
All right, looking forward to hearing from you. That's the question, so please do write to us.